Dandavats to everybody. And so we're reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 2. And this is, I've just come back from India, so this is new to me. I'm not sure where we are. So the name. Okay.
Yeah, right here.
Okay.
Text 48.
Okay, so just see what the name of the chapter is. Okay,
chapter 2, Adi Leela.
So the name of this chapter is. Okay. I'll just say the beginning of chapter 2, so I can remind myself what it is. So Adi Leela, chapter 2. This Dandavats, everybody. Dandavats. This chapter explains that Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself. Therefore, the Brahman effulgence is the bodily lustre of Lord Chaitanya, and the localized supersoul situated in the heart of every living entity is his partial representation. The Purusha avatars are also explained in this connection. Mahavishnu is a reservoir of all conditioned souls, but as confirmed in the authoritative scriptures, Lord Krishna is the ultimate fountainhead, the source of numerous plenary expansions, including Narayan, who is generally accepted by Mayavadi philosophers to be the absolute truth. The Lord's manifestation of Prabhava and Vaibhava expansions, as well as partial incarnations and incarnations with dedicated powers, are also explained. Lord Krishna's ages of boyhood and youth are discussed, and it is explained that his age at the beginning of youth is his eternal form. The spiritual sky contains innumerable spiritual planets, the Vaikunthas, which are manifestations of the Supreme Lord's internal energy. Innumerable material universes are similarly exhibited by his external energy, and the living entities are manifested by his marginal energy. Because Lord Krishna Chaitanya is not different from Lord Krishna, he is the cause of all causes. There is no cause beyond him. He is eternal, and his form is spiritual. Lord Chaitanya is directly the Supreme Lord Krishna, as the evidence of authoritative scriptures proves. This chapter stresses that a devotee must have knowledge of Krishna's personal form, his three principal energies, his pastimes, and the relationship of the living entities with him in order to advance in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so we are on page 124 of Adi Leela, chapter 2. So, Krishna's Krishna said, Brahma, I cannot understand what you are saying. Lord Narayan is he who sits in the hearts of all living beings and lies down in the waters of the Karuna ocean. Brahma, but I haven't got my thoughts, so I'll have to just read the English. Brahma replied, what I have said is true. The same Lord Narayan, who lives on the waters and in the hearts of all living beings, is but a plenary portion of you. The Karanadakashai, Garbhodakashai, and Kshirodakashai forms of which Narayan all create in cooperation with the material energy. In this way, they are attached to Maya. These three Vishnus lying in the water are the supersoul of everything. The supersoul of all the universes is known as the first Purusha. Garbhodakashayi Vishnu is the supersoul of the aggregate of living entities, and Ksharadakashayi Vishnu is the supersoul of each individual living being. Superficially, we see that these Purushas have a relationship with Maya. But above them, in the fourth dimension, is Lord Krishna, who has no contact with the material energy. Purport: the three Purushas, Karanadakashayi Vishnu, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and Ksharadakashayi Vishnu, all have a relationship with the supreme, with the material energy called Maya, because through Maya they create the material cosmos. These three Purushas, who lie on the Karuna, Garbha and Kshara waters, are the supersoul of everything that be. Karanadakashayi Vishnu is the supersoul of the collective universes. Garbhodakashayi Vishnu is the supersoul of the collective living beings, and Ksharadakashayi Vishnu is the supersoul of all living entities. Because all of them are somehow attracted to the affairs of the material energy, they can be said to have some affection for Maya. But the transcendental position of Sri Krishna himself is not even slightly tinged by Maya. His transcendental state is called Turiya, or the fourth dimensional stage. In the material world, the Lord is designated as Virat, Hiranyagarbha and Karana. But beyond these three designations, the Lord is ultimately in the fourth dimension. Purport: the phenomenal manifestation of the Supreme Whole, the nominal soul of everything, and the cause or causal nature are all but designations of the Purushas, who are responsible for material creation. The transcendental position surpasses these designations and is therefore called the position of the fourth dimension. This is a quotation from Sridhar Swami's commentary on the 11th canto, 15th chapter, verse 16 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Although these three features of the Lord deal directly with the material energy, none of them are touched by it. They are all beyond illusion. This is the opulence of the Lord. Although situated in the material nature, he is never affected by the modes of nature. Similarly, those who have surrendered to him and fixed their intelligence upon him are not influenced by the modes of nature. Purport: this text is from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.11.38. Those who have taken shelter of the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead do not identify with the material world, even while living in it. Pure devotees may deal with the three modes of material nature, but because of their transcendental intelligence in Krishna consciousness, they are not influenced by the material qualities. The spell of material activities does not attract such devotees. Therefore, the Supreme Lord and his devotees acting under him are always free from material contamination. Could you please get me some water? You are the ultimate shelter of these three plenary portions. Thus, there is not the slightest doubt that you are the primeval Narayan. Brahma has confirmed that Lord Krishna is the Supreme, the source of the three manifestations, known as Ksharadakashayi Vishnu, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and Karanadakashayi Vishnu, Mahavishnu. For his pastimes, Lord Krishna has 4 original manifestations, namely Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. The first Purusha avatar, Mahavishnu, in the causal ocean, who is the creator of the aggregate material energy, is the expansion of Sankarshan. The second Purusha, Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, is an expansion of Pradyumna, and the third Purusha, Kshirodakashaya Vishnu, is an expansion from Aniruddha. All these are within the category of manifestations of Narayan, who is a manifestation of Sri Krishna. Thank you. Thank you for your help.
Nanda Prabhuji.
Go in the time, go in the time. Go in the time. The source of these 3 features is the Narayan in the spiritual sky. He is your Vilasa expansion. Therefore, you are the ultimate Narayan. Therefore, according to the authority of Brahma, the Narayan, who is the predominating deity in the transcendental world, is but the Vilas feature of Krishna. This has now been conclusively proved. The truth indicating in this verse, text 30, is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. This conclusion, through synonyms, applies everywhere. Not knowing that Brahma, Paramatma and Bhagavan are all features of Krishna, foolish scholars speculate in various ways. Because Narayan has 4 hands, whereas Krishna looks just like a man, they say that Narayan is the original God, whereas Krishna is but an incarnation. Purport. Some scholars argue that Narayan is the original personality of Godhead, of whom Krishna is an incarnation because Sri Krishna has 2 hands, whereas Narayan has 4. Such unintelligent scholars do not understand the features of the Absolute. In this way, their arguments appear in various forms, but the poetry of the Bhagavatam expertly refutes them all. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth say that it is non-dual knowledge and is called impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and the personality of Godhead. This text is from Srimad Bhagavatam. My dear brothers, kindly listen to the explanation of this verse and consider its meaning. The one original entity is known in his 3 different features. Lord Krishna himself is the one undivided absolute truth, the ultimate reality. He manifests himself in 3 features as Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Purport. In this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam cited above, 1-11, the principal word, Bhagavan, indicates the personality of Godhead, and Brahman and Paramatma are concomitants deducted from the absolute personality, as a government and its ministers are deductions from the supreme executive head. In other words, the principal truth is exhibited in 3 different phases: the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, Bhagavan. In the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, Bhagavan, is also known as Brahman and Paramatma, although all these features are identical. The import of this verse has stopped you from arguing. Now listen to another verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. All these incarnations of Godhead are either plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions of the Purusha avatars. But Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In every age, he protects the world through his different features when the world is disturbed by the enemies of Indra. Purport. This statement of Srimad Bhagavatam definitely negates the concept that Sri Krishna is the avatar of Vishnu or Narayan. Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, the supreme cause of all causes. This verse clearly indicates that incarnations of the personality of Godhead such as Sri Rama, Nrsimha and Varaha all undoubtedly belong to the Vishnu group, but all of them are either plenary portions or portions of plenary portions of the original personality of Godhead. The Bhagavatam describes the symptoms and deeds of the incarnations in general and counts Sri Krishna among them. This made Sutta Goswami greatly apprehensive. Therefore, he distinguished each incarnation by its specific symptoms. All the incarnations of Godhead are plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions of the Purusha avatars. But the primeval Lord is Sri Krishna. He is the supreme personality of Godhead, the fountainhead of all incarnations. An opponent may say, this is your interpretation, but actually the Supreme Lord is Narayan, who is in the transcendental realm. He, Narayan, incarnates as Lord Krishna. This is the meaning of the verse, as I see it. There is no need for further consideration. To such a misguided interpreter, we may reply, why should you suggest such fallacious logic? An interpretation is never accepted as evidence if it opposes the principles of scriptures. One should not state a predicate before its subject, for it cannot thus stand without proper support. Purport. This rhetorical rule appears in the Ekadashi Tattva, 13th canto, in connection with the metaphorical use of words. An unknown object should not be put before the object, because the object has no meaning if the subject is not first given. If I do not state a subject, I do not state a predicate. First I speak the former, and then I speak the latter. The predicate of a sentence is what is known to the reader, whereas the subject is what is known to him. For example, we may say, this Vipra is a greatly learned man. In this sentence, the Vipra is the subject, and the predicate is erudition. The man's being a Vipra is known, but his erudition is unknown. Therefore, the person is identified first and his erudition later. In the same way, all these incarnations were known, but whose incarnations they are was unknown. First, the word ete, these, establishes the subject, the incarnation. Then plenary portions of the Purusha avatars follows as the predicate. In the same way, when Krishna was first counted among the incarnations, specific knowledge about him was still unknown. Therefore, the word Krishna appears as the subject, followed by the predicate, describing him as the original personality of Godhead. This establishes that Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. The original personality of Godhead is therefore necessarily Krishna. Had Krishna been the plenary portion and Narayan the primeval Lord, the statement of Sutta Goswami would have been reversed. Thus he would have said, Narayan, the source of all incarnations, is the original personality of Godhead. He has appeared as Sri Krishna. Mistakes, illusions, cheating, and defective perception do not occur in the sayings of the authoritative sages. I'll just read this purport. Purport. Srimad Bhagavatam has listed the avatars, the plenary expansions of the Purusha, and Lord Krishna appears among them. But the Bhagavatam further explains Lord Krishna's specific position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Since Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, reason and argument establish that his position is always supreme. Had Krishna been a plenary expansion of Narayan, the original verse would have been differently composed. There, indeed, its order would have been reversed. But there cannot be mistakes, illusion, cheating, or imperfect perception in the words of liberated sages. Therefore, there is no mistake in the statement that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Sanskrit statements of Srimad Bhagavatam are all transcendental sounds. Srila Vyasadeva revealed these statements after perfect realization, and therefore they are perfect. For liberated sages like Vyasadeva never commit errors in their rhetorical argument arrangements. Unless one accepts this fact, there is no use in trying to obtain help from the revealed scriptures. Brahma refers to false knowledge or mistakes, such as accepting a rope as a snake or an oyster shell as gold. Pramada refers to inattention or misunderstanding of reality, and Vipsa is the cheating propensity. Karanapaktasva refers to imperfectness of the material senses. There are many examples of such imperfection. The eye cannot see that which is very distant or very small. One cannot even see his own eyelid, which is the closest thing to his eye. And if one is disturbed by a disease like jaundice, he sees everything to be yellow. Similarly, the ears cannot hear distant sounds. Since the personality of Godhead and his plenary portions and self-realized devotees are all transcendentally situated, they cannot be marveled by such deficiencies. Back to the... you say something contradictory and become angry when this is pointed out. Your explanation has the defect of a misplaced object. This is an unconsidered adjustment. Only the personality of Godhead, the source of all other divinities, is eligible to be designated Swayam Bhagavan, or the primeval Lord. When from one candle many others are lit, I consider that one the original. Purport. The Brahma Samhita, chapter 5, verse 46, states that the Vishnu Tattva, or the principle of the absolute personality of Godhead, is like a lamp, because the expansions equal their origin in all respects. A burning lamp can light innumerable other lamps, but that are not inferior, but still one lamp must be considered the original. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead expands himself in the plenary forms of the Vishnu Tattva, but although they are equally powerful, the original powerful personality of Godhead is considered the source. This example also explains the appearance of qualitative incarnations like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, the Sambhu Tattva, or the principle of Lord Shiva, is like a lamp covered with carbon because of its being in charge of the mode of ignorance. The illumination from such a lamp is very minute. Therefore, the power of Lord Shiva cannot compare to that of the Vishnu principle. So we finish there. Okay, Prabhu? Oh, yes. Okay, there we are. So do you want to sing, words we sing Hare Raya, Namo Krishna?
Hari Haraya Nama Krishnaya Haraya Nama Yadavaya Nadavaya Gopala Govindaram Sri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Garadhara Shivasari Gauravakta Vrinda Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhattaraguna Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasaraguna Jai Goshai Gori Jaranavanda Jahoite Dignana Sabista Puran Jai Goshai Jara Muritarada Asabara Padarenu Moda Panchagas Padara Charana Sebe Bhakti Saneva Jana me Mura Avila Jai Goshai Jabe Rajay Bhairavas Radha Krishna Nitya Leela Gorila Prakasha Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavana Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Madhyayamana Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padmam Koriyasha Hari Nam Sankirtana Gohe Nuratamarata Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Jai, all glories to Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivarjikachai Varya Astatar Satoshi Srimad Shri Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, all glories to Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivarjikachai Varya Astatar Satoshi Srimad Shri Bhakti Rakat Shri Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, all glories to Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivarjikachai Varya Astatar Satoshi Srimad Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Jai, all glory to Om Vishnupad Shri Gaurika Shodas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. All glory to Om Vishnupad Shri Satchidananda Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur. All glory to Om Vishnupad Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. All glory to the Shri Rupanuga Guruvaka Ki Jai. All glory to Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. All glory to Shri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nanti Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai. Shri Baladev Vijabhushana Ki Jai. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Narottam Shamanandi Srinivasa Acharya Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Krishna Das Kaviraj Ki Jai. Shri Jai Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Ragana Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Ragana 6 girls Ramiza Vrindavan Ki Jai. Sabhashara Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Sabhashara Shriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopanarashwami Kun Radha Kun Givi Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Lakshmi Vivaha Devi Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Vigna Vinashaya Shri Nasinga Dev Ki Jai. Bhakti Prabha Palab Maharaj Ki Jai. Tosi Mahani Ki Jai. Tosi Parikama Ki Jai. Grantavar Srimad Bhagavatam Chaitanya Taritamrita Ki Jai. Vishwa Vaishnava Sabha Ki Jai. Akramat Vato Shri Chaitanya Mat Ki Jai. Tadiya Sakamat Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Sarasvat Mat Ki Jai. Vishwa Bhyapi Tadiya Sakamat Ki Jai. Tadiya Sakamat Ki Jai. Vishwa Vaishnava Vato Sabha Ki Jai. Akramat Vato Shri Chaitanya Mat Ki Jai. Tadiya Sakamat Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Sarasvat Mat Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. All glories to all the assembled devotees Ki Jai. All glories to devotees all over the world Ki Jai. Jai. All glory to Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura